Hey everybody, Chris here. Dogecoin's price is stuck in a range. That's right, the dreaded brown box. That's right, Chris has put the brown box onto the chart. We'll take a look at that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And right now, we're looking forward to the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. And until then, nothing is moving. That's right. Everything is quiet since sort of the up and down action we had on Sunday, taking out leveraged longs, taking out shorts. And since then, it is crab season again, sideways. I'll show that on the chart. And it's not only Dogecoin, Bitcoin's doing the same thing. And yes, I've made a brown box for Bitcoin as well. Overall, there is a little activity on some other memes. We'll look at one in particular as well. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, 14.16. Yes, we're in the low 14s, and here we are stuck in a new brown box. Yeah, it looks a little orange, I know. It's the closest color I could get to brown because TradingView doesn't really give you a true brown, but we'll call it brown. Why brown? Because Dogecoin's in the shitter. That's right. It looks like poop. That's why we made brown. Bitcoin is in its own box here. Bitcoin's actually, it looks like a much bigger box here, but it's really, it's actually less percentage-wise. We look at Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin so-called box here is about 5.5%. And it is stuck in about 90,600, so from 88 up to 93, that is this range-bound sideways trading that Bitcoin is doing. And of course, Bitcoin had the dip and then the rip here, taking out leverage longs, taking out shorts. That's what Bitcoin went through. And here's Doge's as well. The dip was more significant on Doge, taking out leverage longs and then shorts. And so here's Dogecoin's box going from 13.8 to 14.8. Yes, it's a full penny. And that is about what I'm looking at, about 7%. So a little bit greater in percentage-wise than Bitcoin, but that's how Dogecoin trades. Now, what does this mean in terms of overall? Well, we got the big red box up here that we were in. That's right. Dogecoin was in the red box way back here. We were watching that, and that was almost a month ago now. Hard to believe that, right? And then, of course, the bigger we have the purple box up here, even higher, and that sideways trading from October 10th. That's right, the October 10th flash crash, and then we were watching the sideways trading of Doge there until eventually the price failed that box, came down into the red I was watching, touched the purple a few times, back into the red, but it was drifting lower until we had that next dip down. Overall, we are looking at a double bottom here at about 13.3 and trying to see whether we don't do that again. So we made the brown box. We will be watching this going forward. And then overall, we have this red line here, which is long-term support. And I go back to the daily, and let me set this at, so we can see that all the way back from October 2023 through September of 2024 to today, that is an upward sloping long-term support line that we are watching as well. So we want to stay above that. But for now, we've got this purple box. The overall narrative still hasn't changed. I'm expecting a relief rally, possibly up to about 20 cents, and then a fall off. And that fall off, of course, wouldn't be just a straight line like shown on the white arrow. It'll be up and down that we will see happen with that. So, and of course, we have this, the wild card here, and that wild card is X money. In my opinion, that could actually get Dogecoin to go on a bigger run. So excited for that opportunity. But again, Elon Musk is never on schedule. So we got to pull that over further to the right because everything moves to the right when it comes to Elon's schedule. And of course, we still have the magnet up here as well. So we're watching all of that. Dogecoin slips 14, outflows rise, trend pressure intensifies. Right now, the markets are still looking a little bearish, So, and looking at sort of that downward move here, we've got with that downward move, we have the sort of these moving averages all sloping down as well on all time frames. The moving averages are sloping down because we were looking good. September went on a run, pulled back. October, we were starting a run. We were looking at even a higher high until the October 10th flash crash. And then since then, it has been kind of lower lows until this double bottom here at 13.3. And we're going to see whether we can turn all of this around in December. Bitcoin, no changes, still stuck within the price range. Have just been chilling, waiting for the market to show its hand. No need to force trades. They aren't there during a chop. So that is what's happening with Bitcoin. Now, what could change that? Well, we have the FOMC. That happens on Wednesday. Bitcoin dumped after the last 3 FOMCs. Tomorrow's the next one. Are we going to see a dump again? We've got the dot plots tomorrow. We've got Powell, if he's hawkish, right? We're going to see another pullback. So we will be watching and seeing what happens there. But yeah, last FOMC, dump. The one before, dump. The one before that, dump, right? 3 in a row have been red. We had some green ones before, but there was some positivity we thought coming. Particularly in May and June, we had a run up in the price of Bitcoin, but lately it has been bearish. James Nguyen, of course, this is what I was talking about a couple days ago, and then showed it again yesterday, and now James Nguyen looking at the same thing, the Bitcoin bearish divergence on the monthly. Yes, looking at the monthly, we have the MACD, we've got the crossover into the red, we have the price falling below the 50-week moving average and going lower, so we have that crossover. So we've got bearish crossover, bearish MACD on the monthly time frame. So we zoom out. The last time we saw that, it was early 2022. After Bitcoin hit 69K, right, in December, moved down. The new year, we had the crossover, and it was a full bear market. Is that where this is headed now? Now we could have fake outs. We did here, 2018 into 2019, right? Didn't go as deep. So that's a possibility as well. But right now, it is looking closer like early 2022. Unfortunately, that is what we are looking at. Meanwhile, we have these scenarios, right? And they're all positive, right? Merlin's like, again, when you have the perma bulls, right? The perma bulls are out and they're just saying it's eventually going to go higher. So we either have this first scenario where we just immediately come back, retest and go higher. We have kind of a chop scenario, go higher, and then we have the dip, right? The big dip, 69K range, and then go higher. They're all going higher. None of them are actually going lower or chopping around sideways, which I think is probably more a possibility, is more sideways chop than either of these. But again, that is a perma bull is going to give you the 3 scenarios that are all mega positive. And the chance of that right now, I mean, it's as good as anything else. We don't know. Meanwhile, you're going to hear more news about the crypto market structure bill, right? The crypto market structure bill for the United States. And, it's proposed by the Senate Banking Committee. The Senate Banking Committee is the one that's leading this. And you get CEOs from Citigroup, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo are scheduled on Thursday to discuss the bill, highlighting the bank's role in shaping U.S. crypto policy and innovation. I mean, it's like the banks. The banks are all getting into this. And why would they do that, right? The crypto market structure bill, making its way through formalities before final approvals expected in early 2026, could bring in huge capital into Bitcoin, George says, Cryptos R Us, into Bitcoin. No, It doesn't say anything about Bitcoin or ETH or Cardano, none of this, right? It's about this one right here. See that one right there? That's the stable coin. Guys, it's all about stable coins. Unfortunately, that is the direction that this so-called crypto market structure bill is going. The United States wants it to be stable coins. They want US dollar-backed digital assets. They do not want cryptocurrencies. And so we're not going to see that. And you're going to hear all these guys saying, oh, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin. It's not, as I continue to say. So what does this mean for Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin is still going to go on runs. Dogecoin is still going to be volatile. It's a meme coin. We know that. It's a meme coin. Right now, we're stuck in ranges, right? And we're watching these ranges. Unfortunately, it's been dipping down. But you zoom out and you look at the overall picture, and it's like, I mean, we're higher than we were in 2020, and we're higher than we were in 2018. So, every 4 years we go higher. So here we are, 2026. We're higher than we were in 2020. We're higher. And even higher than we were in 2022 on the dip. And it wasn't really that much of a dip. And now this is the logarithmic scale, not a true price scale, but it's based on percentages. And percentage-wise, 2022 ends up not looking too bad. And you see that percentage-wise, Dogecoin is flattening out more than it did in previous cycles. So that's kind of an interesting view of that. So why should you invest in new Dogecoin spot ETFs? Yeah, the ETFs are doing that. But we see with Bitcoin, right, there's a lot of talk, oh, it's huge institutional buying, right? It's going to level everything out. Well, actually, we see the ETF buyers, they actually sell when the price goes down. We're seeing that in Bitcoin. A lot of outflows right now. A lot of talk about bear markets and outflows. Dogecoin so far hasn't really had much inflows. Had some grayscale, Bitwise has been a big zero, right? Nothing going on there. And that's not going to happen, as I said, until we get FOMO in Dogecoin. We need the FOMO. We need the price going up. We need some big news, maybe X. I don't know. I'm going to talk more about that in tomorrow's video, the latest on X money and X payments and what's going on there. So watch for that for tomorrow. But for now, I mean, yeah, you can buy the ETF. It's easier to do for many investors because they don't have to open an account on a crypto exchange. You can just do it with whatever stock exchange that you're trading on. Easy to do. But it's going to be just as volatile in the end as Dogecoin. It's just not the same as actually holding the real Dogecoin. Most of these investors that buy ETFs, they don't care about that. They don't care about self-custody and cryptocurrency, anti-banks, all that. They're just betting on the money, right? They just want to see the returns. And you can do that with an ETF. That's really the pros and cons of it is right there. But meanwhile, we've got this, which is Luna. So Do Kwon is going to make a court appearance this week, and there's all this excitement, Luna Classic and Luna. And this guy here, CryptoPulse, he's actually doing technical analysis on the Luna chart, which I think is hilarious, right? TA on essentially a meme token now, which Luna is, which has no, I mean, there's nothing behind it. And he's doing TA on this. I just think that's funny. I just had to say that. But hey, you can make money on the memes. I know that. You can make money on all these odd things. You just have to catch it at the right time. Unfortunately, many people bought XPL, when it was doing all of its craziness, and now they're way, way, way down, right? And you can't get out of it. And we see a lot more of that happening as well. But here we are, unfortunately now, we're in a brown box. We're in a brown box. That's just what we have now for Dogecoin. And with this brown box, again, I'm just using this as a guide to see how the trading goes forward. And we'll celebrate when we get to 14.8 and over. And we don't want it to drop back below 13.8, which is our key support line. Again, that was broken a couple times, but these were just leverage flushes by the market makers to take out longs. So stabilizing, and we'll see what Wednesday brings as far as FOMC and all of the follow-up there. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this range-bound pricing that is going on right now. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.